formats are still odd in some way, but we're delighted actually to have you here, and I think that no further introductions are needed in your case, so be free to speak not only about this current book, but we would like also to hear what are your current projects and how could we actually deploy the messages from this book further in our sociological and architectural discussions. So thank you very much for being here with us.
Okay. Yes. Do you want me to? Now, where's that? So, first of all, thank you very much for what you're doing. Thank you, Vlada. Thank you, all of those who have come along to hear this. And I feel very honoured to have my book translated into Serbian, and it reminds me of the wonderful time we had in Belgrade a few years ago. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to just say something, a little talk, a small talk, and I want to begin where the ICON project ended. So, I'm setting out to analyse the connection between three phenomena: capitalist globalization, the Anthropocene, and coronavirus. So is somebody translating?
Yeah.
Okay. I do this through the lens of iconic buildings and spaces and the capitalist city. What all types of icons have in common is that they thrive by attracting visitors. Iconic architecture is an increasingly influential part of capitalist city planning via global tourism, local and national place branding, and best city rankings. I argue that the transnational capitalist class uses cities as competitors in a global system of lucrative investment opportunities. Capitalist globalization is widely implicated in the Anthropocene, and together they facilitate the spread of the epidemic. The concept of administrative evil, which I'll get to in a moment, is mobilized to highlight the ethical dimensions of city planning and the increasingly beleaguered city. So the title of my talk really is Beleaguered City, Beleaguered Planet. So this takes us to the concept of administrative evil. This concept, by two researchers, Adam, in their book Masking Administrative Evil, published in 1998. This is not a very well-known book, but I think it should be much better known. Adams and Balfour argue that ordinary people carrying out their normal professional and administrative tasks, characterized by the obsession with technical rationality, and engage in acts of evil without being aware that they're doing anything wrong. Sometimes they believe that what they're doing is for the public good, a condition identified as moral inversion that usually masks the evil consequences of their actions. This unrecognized potential for administrative can ultimately escalate to much greater evil. Adams and Balfour illustrate this through case studies derived from the Nazi Holocaust, directly connected with the Marshall Space Flight Center in USA, where the Apollo 2 project to take men to the moon began. The team set up by Werner von Braun, a prominent rocket scientist in Nazi Germany, came to the US in 1945. Adams and Balfour say we are left with the reality that a handful of America's most competent and successful business managers in the government agency that was lionized in the 1960s as the paradigmatic high-performing organization either had been committed Nazis or had themselves directly engaged in actions for which others in post-war Germany were convicted of war crimes. In a chapter on racism in America, Adams and Balfour argue that bureaucrats and planners make administrative decisions on slum clearing, urban renewal, I think this happens all over the world, that destroys communities. However, they don't see this in terms of capitalism in the state, the main themes of my book. The radical concept of the Anthropocene hides the administrative rule of capitalists and governments all over the world, who claim credit for what they're doing. So, I'd like to end simply by saying that a lot of the harm that is taking place all over the world is being perpetrated by people who claim that they're not doing anything wrong. I don't know what's happened in Serbia, but in Britain and the USA, when politicians and policymakers are challenged, they often say, we are not guilty of wrongdoing. And of course, this is often true, because they make the rules, and the rules made by those whose interests are not necessarily the general public, but generally speaking, the interest of global capitalism. So that's what I've got to say tonight, and I'd be very happy to answer questions that come along, and to hear your own opinions.
Thank you so much, Professor Skler.